everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new dragging video. Today we are in Munich in Germany, so without further ado, let's get started. Your receptionist is very rude and arrogant. She doesn't recognize I am the customer, and without the customer you won't even be employed here. Ooh. By the way, obviously this is Louis Vuitton, the Munich flagship boutique in Germany. I bought even a shoe and a shirt from the men's section. I was treated very friendly by the male SA. When I came to shop for female bags, the receptionist came and scolded me and said I should not be touching the bags from the display, and told me, look, the others started touching the bags because you did. I'm so disappointed by this service and it ruined my mood. It's clearly not the first time shopping at LV for me. In Milan, they treated me very well. In other boutiques like Burberry, YSL, Gucci, Celine, they've never called me out for touching their bags. I'm okay if she said it to me in a friendly way, but she was far from normal. No respect at all for me as a customer, no hello at all. Okay, so there are a few things. First of all, this happens a lot in my dragging reviews. Like, people will talk about how like LVCAs literally fly over like pterodactyls, honey, and fly over and tell them don't touch the bags, you know, kind of thing. And this isn't like a surprise to me that they, you know, say this. Okay, so I when I went to Louis Vuitton Johannesburg, I made an appointment online, and like when I arrived, the lady who was like supervising the appointments was like, oh, you can just walk around and the CA will be with you shortly. I was like, okay, and I walked around and I touched things. I took pictures, I saw the Dauphine Capitale, I saw all these things, and I was like touching them. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it was fine in there. So maybe it's like each store is different, or maybe, I don't know, maybe they think, okay, you're here for an appointment, whatever kind of thing. So I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of this. When I walked in there, I saw other people touching things. So like, I don't know if I would feel comfortable touching if other people weren't. I did see other people touching things, so I thought it was fine to touch. I think that people need to calm down with the whole, you know, without me you wouldn't be employed here. It's like, you know, you bought a shoe and you bought a shirt, you know, you bought two items. Like, it's not going to make or break Louis Vuitton. Like, the thing with me is like, I stay in my lane. I'm not like out here trying to be like, I pay everyone's wages, I pay everyone's bills. Like, calm down, you know? But yeah, being told off and being told the others started touching the bags because you did, like the CA blaming her that other clients are like touching bags and stuff, and it's her fault. That's probably unfair. The next one is from Louis Vuitton in Munich. Today we're in Germany, honey. Like, we're in Munich. I waited 25 minutes in line today to go inside to ask 2 questions about my Alma BB. The short story, it was a birthday present from my in-laws who didn't give me the receipt. They are in their 80s. In our culture, it's disrespectful to give someone the receipt with the present. I'm sure many of you relate. Yes, I do. I'm too ashamed to ask them for this, as it's disrespectful again to them. Again, it's a cultural thing. I went inside to ask if they could authenticate my bag. I'm sorry to this woman, honey, because you know where this is going. I know for a fact, I read this somewhere online, that the store will do this for you. No, they won't, boo-boo. No, they won't, sweetheart, and you're going to learn the hard way. And I simply wanted to ask what my rights are in case the bag is damaged, since I don't have the receipt. My rights, you know? Like, calm down. This isn't the UN, honey, okay? I was a bit confused that this bag did not have a date code my other bags do. After being greeted with a smile, me explaining the situation, it was over with their nice service. The lady working at the welcome desk immediately changed her tone and her style. Yeah, because she realized, like, you're not buying anything. So she's like, girl, bye. She goes on a rant here for ages and ages, and then she says that the second CA, the mature CA, says to her, like, you know, because she's saying how in her culture, you know, she can't ask for a receipt. Then the other CA is like, well, how disrespectful of you it is to assume that you'd be gifted a fake bag. And the CA rolls her eyes and says, your bag is very well done, writes that part in German, whatever that's supposed to mean. I said, again, can I get anything that says my bag is real in case one day I want to sell it? Oh my God, why are you saying this at Louis Vuitton? Why? The CA says, we can't tell you anything due to data regulations. And so in hopes she reads this, you, madame, are ashamed for this company. You definitely need a session in customer service. She's going on a massive rant. Okay, so there are a few things here that we kind of need to debrief and deconstruct. First of all, girl, You know very well that Louis Vuitton do not authenticate in store. We know this. And Cartier don't, major brands, so Big H definitely don't. Go into Big H today and ask them if that thing is real. They're gonna look at you and give you these dirty looks. Okay, so she's, and maybe she didn't know, and she wasn't aware, but I think just simply a Google search or going on social media forums where she said she looked online, but I mean, I don't know. I think you could look for that information online and get like accurate information for today, and it would absolutely say that, like, you know, they don't authenticate in the store. Also, like, why does she want the receipt? It's a gift. So why do you want the receipt? Because I understand the cultural implications of these things, but like very well. Because like for me, it's like, you know, someone who's like lived in many cultures around the world, but at the end of the day, I'm Tanzanian, I'm African, but I understand how lots of cultures around the world work. In my culture, it would be super disrespectful to ask for a receipt if someone gave you a present. It would also be super disrespectful to return a gift or to sell a gift. I know in the West, it's not really seen in the same way, but if she's from a similar culture to mine, where it's very conservative, it sounds like she is, she should just eat this. They're gonna see you, okay? So why would you need to sell it one day? Why? You know, it's a gift from your in-laws, you didn't pay for it. Just calm down, okay? You know, because here when she's talking about the fact that she's from a very, like, she's talking about the fact that in her culture it'd be inappropriate to, you know, ask, but basically for the receipt. Why can't you just eat this cost? It's probably real. Why would they gift you something fake? Why do you need to know if it's real or not? I feel like that's just a good way to make things super awkward and uncomfortable. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like the client is wrong. I understand wanting to know, but I feel like there were ways that she could have asked her in-laws to see if it was real. Like, oh my God, thank you so much, like, for this beautiful gift, you know, the bag. Like, what was the experience like for you in the store when you went? That's the way. And by the way, I'm so honored. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. Like, which store did you go to? Because I think I'm gonna have to go there and get you something, you know, something like that. Like, why are you going to Louis Vuitton and making it uncomfortable for yourself? Because the CA, once the first CA realized that she wasn't going to buy anything, the first CA was like, let me stop you right there, girl. Okay, we don't have time for you. I think the client is wrong, and I think she should sit herself down and sit her wig down. She should basically just sit herself down because she is bang out of order, in my opinion. The next one is also from Munich. We're in Munich today, girl. I've been in this store 3 times in the last few months. I was there in May and in September. And just recently on Saturday, this review is from last year. Each time I made an appointment, the service was really horrible. I felt like I was treated as if I should be privileged to shop in the store. 2 weeks ago, I made an appointment and brought 2 friends with me, where we both purchased bags and perfume. The other ladies felt the same way. Each time I came prepared with pictures of what I wanted to see. Most of the times I heard, we do not carry this, you have to purchase online. This last visit was the worst. I had a gentleman who couldn't care less if I purchased or not. I had pictures of 4 bags and only 1 in stock, and there was, hold on, wait, it was too tiny for me. All I wanted was a bigger crossbody. My husband even made a comment on the service. And yeah, basically she's just talking about how difficult the service is. So I think, first of all, there are like a few themes like from this dragging review. The first thing, and we've talked about this before, is groups are literally a nightmare to deal with. If you have worked retail, you know what I'm talking about. I used to have my own shop here in Tanzania. Groups are the worst. Generally speaking, it's, in my experience, it's been true that when people shop in groups, like, people don't spend as much. Groups can be loud, they can yell and shout and things like that. I'm not saying that they did, but it is quite uncomfortable, particularly for the person who's helping the group. She goes to pains to say how other people in her group bought bags and perfume, but we don't know what bags they bought. Were they buying Neverfulls? Were they buying, you know, just like canvas pieces and stuff? Were they buying leather goods? Like, we don't know. And we know that at Big LV, like, that kind of stuff matters. Like, we know that. So there's no point us sitting here pretending to act like, oh, it doesn't matter and stuff like that. We know it matters at Louis Vuitton, so let's just, you know, keep it Gucci. I'm not surprised that it was difficult for them because it was a group. 4 friends plus her, so 5 people at the appointment. Coincidentally, when I was in Johannesburg, like now that I've just come back from my holiday, there are a lot of group shopping is very common there. But I must say, group shopping there is very, from what I was seeing, was very, very different. Like, for example, when I was like waiting for the CA to attend to me, while I was just looking around, the lady who was taking the appointments was like, just walk around. I was walking around like Louis Vuitton, right? There were like a group of people sitting at women's prêt-à-porter and shoes. So women's prêt-à-porter and shoes, it's like one part together, and they were a group, but everyone was trying on shoes and everyone was buying something. I'm not saying that she's wrong. I'm just saying that I feel like it is really intense for the CA, and it's very, very, very intense, and it can be very stressful. There's no guarantee that everyone in the group will buy something. You know, she plus 4 other people. Did every single person in the group buy something? And if they did, what did they buy? I mean, I don't know. I think it's a lot. How does it work with the purchase history? Is every single person going to be open a profile or have their profiles updated and stuff? So yeah, it's unfortunate that she didn't have like a great experience and stuff, but I'm not surprised. She goes on to say that she used to shop there in 2016 and it was like this wonderful, incredible experience, and now it's become really difficult. I think this is also the sort of like reality of luxury shopping today. Like, luxury shopping today isn't what it was, and I think the panoramic has changed a lot of things. Like, the panoramic has changed like how luxury shopping is. Okay, the final dragging review is from Munich. We're in Germany today, honey. I go to this boutique every year when I visit my in-laws. I made a purchase every year. They always give me attitude. This is another client, by the way. Different essay, same as you every year. I go there with my in-laws, who are Germans, but we didn't feel welcome. They judge you by the way that you dress. This is a huge store in a popular location that has a lot of foot traffic, so they don't need to work too hard to get sales. Also, the products sell very fast. They run out of stock for the pieces I want. I went to other boutiques like Fendi and Dior. They had excellent service, no matter how big or small your purchase is. I've never received an SA business card during my visit to this Louis Vuitton, but I received SA business cards on my first visit to other boutiques. This trip has changed the way I shop. I won't go back here unless they have something I really want. I spent a lot of money here, but no customer service, so I might have just spent it elsewhere. So I want to discuss this because this is really interesting, right? She talks about how they don't offer cards. Now, this is so interesting. In the first experience that I had in Johannesburg in January, I got the CA's contact, who I like contacted, but she didn't get back to me, right? I talked about that in my recap. And then this time around, I wanted to try something different. Now, I'm no longer asking, like, I'm doing this new thing now where I don't ask people for their contact. I'll just wait for them to offer me. The only exception would be Big H, and you know how Big H is, and her wig, and how stressful it is to shop there. But for like Louis Vuitton, like all the other brands I want to shop at, like Louis Vuitton, Versace, Moschino, I'll wait for the CA to offer me if they want to. So I just want to see, like, how much money do you need to spend for a CA to offer you that card at other brands? We all know how Big H is and Big H's wig. Now here she talks about how she goes, you know, there and she's never been offered a card. I also had a similar experience in the boutique in Johannesburg. The CA didn't offer me his card. This new one who I met for the appointment, he didn't offer me. Honestly, I was even telling like a friend of mine about this, like, and she was just like, you know, she was saying how she feels like they want to see how much you're going to spend in a transaction before they give out their card. Now, before the panoramic, it wasn't really like that, but I think now at the panoramic, at a lot of brands, like, they want to know that you're going to spend a lot. We don't know how much she spent in this transaction. You know, did she spend 1,000 euros? Did she spend 2,000 euros? Did she spend 3,000 euros? Like, we don't know, or even more than that, 4,000, 5,000. But I definitely think, like, if you're someone who's like, you're going to spend like 5,000 or 6,000 or 7,000, you know, they probably offer you that card or whatever. And I think that is where we're headed with luxury brands and luxury shopping today. It's definitely headed in this direction where it's like all about how much you spend in order to make connections and stuff. So I feel for this person, I empathize with them, but it is what it is, particularly if it's a busy store. This boutique in Munich, it sounds very competitive, sounds like there are a lot of big spenders, sounds like there are a lot of VIPs. Germany is the wealthiest country in Europe. There are a lot of ballers, honey, in Germany, shopping at all of these luxury stores. It's going to be very difficult to compete at Louis Vuitton in Germany, Big H in Germany, Chanel in Germany, Get Me Dior in Germany. Like, it's going to be competitive to compete in the richest country in Europe. You know, like, I definitely feel, I feel for this person, but I'm not surprised, and the person shouldn't take it personally. It's hard not to take it personally, because, you know, she goes on here to say, you know, how the customer service, you know, wasn't good. Let me just quickly, you know, she says how the trip has changed how she shops. So obviously it was a horrible experience. And then she goes here and says she went with her in-laws, and her mother-in-law's German, and they didn't feel like they were welcomed. And this is a huge store in a popular location. They don't have to work too hard to get sales. That is also the feeling I got of the Louis Vuitton Johannesburg boutique. It's in the Diamond Walk, it's in Sandton City, it's absolutely rammed. It was the weekend of BRICS. BRICS had just finished, like the BRICS summit, and you know, everyone in the world has been talking about BRICS. There's been a lot of things in the media about like de-dollarization and all of these things. So like, there are a lot of people who went to the BRICS conference and they have money. And Sandton City's next door to the convention center. People have money. They're going to go to Louis Vuitton, honey. They're going to go to Big Gucci. They're going to go to Cartier and Versace and D&G, and they're going to spend, you know? And she goes on here to say, they judge you by the way that you dress. I definitely think that at Louis Vuitton, you are judged by how you dress if you don't shop there that often, and if they don't know you. I mean, obviously, if they know you, they're not going to really judge you on how you dress. And obviously, many of you are from America, so I know you're going to be like, oh, in America, like, you know, we dress casually. I get that. And for those of you from Canada as well. But in Europe, like, people do make an effort to look very put together. Like, even a casual look in Europe is snatched, honey. Like, even a casual, like, effortless, chic, minimalistic look in Europe, it's like Max Mara, you know? Or it's like Brunello, or it's Dries Van Noten. Even like a casual look in Europe with like designer brands, right? It still looks very put together, very elegant, and very chic. So here when she says they judge you by the way you dress, I definitely think you're judged by how you look at luxury stores. Like I said, if you're new to the brand, please don't be like, oh, I'm not judged, you know, and you have like a relationship at Louis Vuitton. Please don't be like that in the comments. We're talking about people who maybe don't go to the store that often, or if you're going to a new boutique, they're definitely going to judge you based on the way you dress. And even when I was in Joburg this time, I didn't mention it in the recap, but even the CA like complimented me on my sunglasses, you know, because I was wearing these ones here, these ones here from Dior. I was wearing them at the appointment, and he was like, oh, those are really nice. I was like, oh, thanks. So they definitely look to see like if you're carrying designer things. I was wearing my Moschino top, and the Dior sunglasses. I was wearing denim as well. So like, they're definitely going to like judge and look at those things. Like, I'm not saying it's right or anything. I'm just saying it is what it is. You know, I said this in my recap video as well, but I actually think like there's like a huge trend that we've all kind of, I think, ignored accidentally and not realized. The whole time the luxury space and the luxury world has been saying that Big C wants to be Big H. That's not true. Louis Vuitton and Big H are in an arms race. They're in a luxury arms race, and we haven't been paying attention. When I was, well, I haven't, maybe you guys have noticed it, but I haven't. When I was in Johannesburg, I noticed like how Big H it felt, like the shopping experience felt like shopping at Big H. It felt like weird and creepy as well. Like, it just felt weird, you know? And I feel like it like, you know, the whole thing of even not offering a card or not offering information, that's a very much a Big H thing as well. Particularly if you shop in the Paris stores, you know what I'm talking about. Like, CAs look for excuses not to offer you their card. You know, if they offer you their card, okay, great. It means that they think that they can sell you other items later on, maybe for a future appointment. It was like a similar kind of thing. I actually think Big LV and Big H are actually competing with each other. And I think the whole time it's been Big LV and Big H competing with each other, not Chanel. Chanel's doing her own thing, her niche. Chanel's got her wig on. Chanel has a phenomenal high jewelry collection. They just launched it. I posted it on Instagram. Chanel's doing her own thing with her double C wig on. She's completely fine. But like, Louis Vuitton and Big H are competing, because if like shopping at Louis Vuitton feels very competitive, and there's like this competitive feeling that reminds me of the Paris scene for Hermes, and that was something that I felt when I went to Joburg. I think the Joburg store is very competitive, and there are a lot of like big spenders there, there are a lot of ballers, a lot of people who spend a lot of money. But even the culture around shopping at this brand has changed. Like, I remember December 2021, like at the Champs-Elysees, like no purchase was too small for Louis Vuitton CAs in December 2021 because it was still during, you know, the panoramic and, you know, like I remember even that time when we went in December 2021 and January 2022, they were like people wearing, you know, masks and stuff, like you had to wear a mask and all the rest of it. You had to like walk around with like your vaccination certificate if you were a tourist. So I feel like they were happy to see people in the store. So no purchase was too small. But then when I tried to get in touch with the CA, it was like, oh, you know, like we don't have these things. We don't have any of the things you're requesting. And I wasn't requesting like things that are not like whatever. I was requesting ready to wear. And the stuff was like on the website. If you check on the stock checker, it's like available. So I think that the panoramic changed a lot of things for these brands. Before the panoramic, I think that there was this idea of like relationship building, particularly with the Paris girls. I feel like the Paris girls operate very differently to the Italian maisons. The Italian maisons want to nurture and grow, broadly speaking, with clients, whereas I feel like the Paris girls are very focused on like, how much are you spending today? So when this client here was talking about how they judge you on how you look, and they look, you know, on how you look, and the, you know, the experience with the CAs wasn't particularly nice. I think it's because they look at how much loyalty you're showing in every transaction. She says she makes purchases every year, but they always give her attitude. Different essays, but each year the attitude's the same. You know, the products sell out very fast. They always run out of stock for the pieces I want. This is also another thing, which I also saw in the Johannesburg like location as well. Like products sell out really quickly. The really hot pieces finish really quickly. They're probably pre-sold in the container before they've even arrived in South Africa. And I'm willing to bet it's the same thing here in Munich and Germany. It's probably already been sold to clients. So they know that maybe we have a shipment of prêt-à-porter dresses and, you know, women's blouses and women's t-shirts. Like Louis Vuitton's t-shirts are very popular and they sell out. Like when the collection launches for prêt-à-porter, their t-shirts, the women's t-shirts, the like women's blouses, the women's skirts, they sell out and the dresses sell. Like good luck trying to find it in your size if you're like a few days late. It will sell very quickly. So I think in light of that, a lot of these CAs are just kind of like, well, I have clients who've like already pre-purchased. Don't forget that there are people who buy sight unseen, who blind buy things. They haven't even tried it on, but maybe they know their size because they bought prêt-à-porter in the past. They'll see something on the catwalk and be like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna buy that. So you're going up against people who are pre-purchasing and pre-buying before things have, you know, even settled down. So I think, I guess this is what I'm saying, and here's the thing, right? My tolerance and my patience is very high. I'm an incredibly patient person just by nature. And as long as I'm not being treated in an R-word experience, no brand is getting my money again. But if it's like the CA is being difficult, the CA is Hollywood honey, the CA is a diva, these CAs at this boutique here in Munich, they sound like divas, okay? They sound like they're divas, honey. They want you to run after them. That reminds me of Big H. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Big LV has decided she's competing with Big H, honey, with shenanigans and creating these games like, you know, as you see it here in the dragging reviews, like CAs, you know, being snarky, like, well, aren't you disrespectful? For assuming that the bag is fake, that your in-laws gave you a fake bag, or the CA is just like not being nice, and like different people, you know, like this client here who's saying how she had like different people approaching her, like different CAs every time, and then hit her saying here like she's never received any business card from a CA during every visit to LV, but she receives business cards from other CAs from other maisons. And like I said, I think other maisons want to nurture and grow with you, particularly the Italian girls. So like the Milan girls, honey, the Rome girls. So like Fendi, Versace, Moschino, Valentino, Bottega, you know, they, you know, Ferragamo, Brunello, like they want to grow with their clients. Whereas I feel like the Paris girls are like, how much are you spending today? Particularly if it's a tourist location. I mean, obviously many of you have like these long, strong relationships there. But I think like her experience is how many people experience the brand. And this is the thing, guys. I have been skull dragged many times, and I'm completely fine with it because I've also had great experiences and as well at brands. So I don't take it personally, and it's hard not to take it personally because we're all human beings. But you shouldn't take it personally because at the end of the day, if this person goes to the boutique today in Munich and spends 5,000 euros, I'm willing to bet that she will have CAs literally throwing their cards at her. And I know that some people don't like that, but that is the reality of luxury shopping today. If you spend a bit, like you spend 5,000 euros, 6,000 euros, 7,000 euros in one transaction, like the CA is going to give you that card. You know, particularly her, because she sounds like she's a local client, like they're probably going to give you the card. If you're not going to spend as much as that, they're probably not going to give you the card because they're like, oh, there'll be someone else who's going to come and spend this money and let me focus on that person. So I'd love to know what you guys think about the dragging videos today. I mean, the dragging reviews today, I beg your pardon. I think the person who walked in and was like, can you authenticate my bag? I think you are bang out water, girl. Okay, I feel empathy for the last person because she's been getting dragged. I have also been dragged, so it's fine. But you can't hate the player, you have to hate the game. It is just a spending game. Like, I'm pretty sure if you go and then you spend a lot, they will offer their cards to you. And I also feel like I said, at Louis Vuitton, it's so different. Remember the Champs-Elysees essay in that December 2021 experience? He offered me his phone number, his contact details immediately. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to need other things. He was like, oh, you know, you should take my contact details, you know? But then when I contacted him this year, he was very like, it was cool, you know, he was very cold. I was like, okay. You know, when the panoramic happened and, you know, people were supporting the brand during the panoramic, they're like remembering you. But then when things are lit, like, they're like, girl, bye, you know? So I think you can't take it personally, you just have to laugh about it. Anyway, I really hope you guys have enjoyed this dragging video. I have others. Which brand should we drag next? Do you guys want to see like an Hermes dragging video? Do you want to see another Chanel dragging video? Do you want to see, or should I do a mixture of brands like Dior? Because Dior is getting skull dragged as well. Remember how we said how Dior essays, people think they're really fake? Should I cover Dior more? Let me know. So yeah, super excited for my trip. I can't stop talking about it because I'm so excited. So go follow me on Instagram. Because once I arrive in Europe, I'll be posting my updates on there. I'm very excited to go to the Louis Vuitton boutiques in Paris, in Copenhagen, in Denmark, the flagship boutique. I'll also visit the flagship store in Geneva. So it's going to be a Louis Vuitton autumn winter. Like, it's a Louis Vuitton, it's a monogram winter, okay, on this channel. So please subscribe, hit notifications like the best way to support what I'm doing. And also, can you give me, by the way, shout out to the Louis Vuitton leopards who I've been chatting to, who've been giving me tips and advice for like my Louis Vuitton shopping journey in Johannesburg. Salute to all of you. I would love to hear from you guys. Give me advice on like high-end pieces, that not exotics, but give me advice on like high-end pieces I should buy from like men's or women's ready-to-wear to bulk up my profile in South Africa, or hard-sided pieces. Because I'm thinking maybe there are things I've missed from men's or women's, because I can buy things for my husband, I can buy things for me, because he'll want items and I'll want items too. So maybe there are things you can suggest that I've missed. Sometimes I sit on the app and I just look at products. Oh my god, by the way, before I go, what do you guys think of the alphabet trunks? My god, these are amazing. They're already on my list. They're coming out next year in 2024. It's 8,000 euros. I think they're like $9,300 a piece. I cannot wait to see how many people get these. Guys, what do you guys think about these, and would you get them? I'm very interested in these. So I think I just told you guys my schedule. So I'll be in Europe for autumn. And then I will go back to Johannesburg to visit Louis Vuitton again before the year is out. So before the year ends, at some point, you'll see me pop up to continue shopping and building my Johannesburg profile. Because shopping in Europe is great, but I really need to be spending more in Johannesburg long term. So moving forward, I will be spending just more per transaction. I think that is the model that Louis Vuitton is going towards. It's a more of like a big H model, like how much can you spend in an appointment, you know? And I think that is where Louis Vuitton's going. That's why I'm saying like big LV and big H are actually the ones who are going head to head in these luxury tussle wars. Like Big C, man, she's chilling, man, she's doing her thing. Like Chanel's high jewelry collection was very well received. The new one tweet to Chanel, like Chanel's not triggered, like she's doing her thing. But like LV and big H are competing so hard. Like LVCAs are now like big HSAs. Okay, so now you have to be pushy with the LVCAs. I love all of this stuff. You guys, if you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing to my channel, hitting notifications, sharing my videos with anyone who you think might enjoy them. Go join my Facebook groups, link below. Guys, by the way, if you're in the Facebook group, why don't you comment and tell people that it's really fun? The Facebook group is going to be 2 years old next month, which is very cool. So go and beg your pardon. Go and sign up for the Facebook group. It's linked below. It's free. So yeah, I'd like to see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video.